topic I wanted to talk about. Did you see the situation there with Scott Adams at all with Dilbert?
Didn't he just get kicked off of a bunch of newspapers?
Yeah, yeah.
The guy who does Dilbert, which is the newspaper comic that's been out for 3 decades. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's been around for about 3 decades. Yeah.
Yeah, 30 years.
Hmm?
Yeah. So you didn't hear about the comments and everything that he was ranting about?
Everyone makes a comment. I don't care.
No.
I don't care what his comment was.
What did you say?
I don't care what his comment was. I mean, unless he's like demanding people kill somebody.
No, it was basically he was critical. I mean, the comment basically came across. Well, it didn't come across as racist, but basically that was what got him kicked off of all the different out of all the newspapers.
What did he say?
And he basically pretty much said things kind of in the line of the gist of the way it is with critical race theory.
Did he call black people a hate group, or did he call BLM a hate group? Here's exactly what he said.
Oh, go ahead.
He exactly said, and this is according to USA Today, quote, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. That's exactly what he said. And again, I'm quoting this. This is from USA Today. Newspapers are dropping him. This is in response. It started on Wednesday because he liked and referenced a Rasmussen report survey that asked people whether people agreed with the statement, is it okay to be white? Of which an unknown but majority number, according to USA Today, they won't tell us how many people agreed with that. And Adams noted that 26% of black respondents disagreed and others so they won't tell us any of the numbers except 26% of black people didn't agree that it's okay to be white. How many black people said it was okay to be white? Not how many said it wasn't, but how many said it was. How many Hispanics said it's okay? How many Asians said... See, they're playing with this. They're setting this up. This is a setup, and you can tell. Then they go on. Adams, who is white, repeatedly referred to people who are black as members of a hate group or a racist hate group, and said he would no longer help black Americans. Okay, be very specific. Now, they're giving me words. Hate group, racist hate group. Is he talking about BLM? Is he talking about Antifa? Is he talking about all black people? You got to be a little more specific. Give me the exact quote. Well, the exact quote they say is, quote, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. I'm sorry, that's really not racist. That's a reflection on the current day because guess what? That's what safe spaces are about. That is exactly what colleges have been saying for years. That you have to separate people. Separate but equal. Or am I misunderstanding something? Am I not right, Jason?
Well, yeah, I mean, he was being hyperbolic about the situation, but...
Well, I don't know that he is. Going by the exact words that they have just presented to us.
I think one of the things that he says, though, too, is just that if you've got a culture, or not a culture, but you have a society that is, constantly, especially for himself, he was saying, well, he's a white male. If everybody's pointing at him and saying that he's the bad guy, and, and BLM and Black Lives Matter in schools and, critical race theory is going through the entire society, and you are basically public enemy number one, then you know what? You better stay away from black people because they're being taught, to hate you, that you are, a predatory, creature. So why, if you want to take the risk with your own life and, actually socialize with people who are being indoctrinated to actually destroy you, it's just like, why would you do that? You know what I mean?
I guess, but again, I can only go by what's the media telling me. Well, the exact words they are telling me, the exact statement that they provide, is a statement that's not racist and is exactly what we are hearing from critical race theory, from separate but equal at colleges. It is BLM, exactly what BLM is saying, except it's black people saying it on TV rather than Scott Adams, a white guy. It's celebrities who are pushing a progressive agenda, not Scott Adams. That's the only thing I'm seeing that's different. I can only make my judgment based on what's being reported, and what's being reported is progressive propaganda. Yeah, he doesn't have to be ironic. Think of Velma. I know almost no one saw Velma because it was sick and twisted. It was a TV show about a revisioning of Scooby-Doo. It was racist. It was sexist. On every single episode, they denounced, detracted, they maligned Fred for being white. How is that any less racist, any less offensive than what they're trying to attribute to Scott Adams?
The other point that he was saying too is everybody's asking him, well, why would you say something like this if you knew that the reaction that you were going to get from it, And he says that the thing is that the discussion needs to be had on these issues.
Yes,
and you need to be provocative to actually get these things on the table, because the thing is that the media and everybody, they don't want to talk about it. The first reaction is to basically cancel and silence him. And the interesting thing now, though, is that because the fact that Elon Musk owns Twitter, he has a platform that is pretty substantial, that at least that avenue wouldn't, completely cut him off in his voice from actually being able to say what he says. The media, the first thing, their reaction is to make sure that they, take him out of context and, label him as racist. And then fourth, you can easily ignore any sort of, having any sort of conversation with him. But that's how they do it.
Well, the thoughts are only approved if it's, you can only say things that are approved in the way that it's approved. It goes back to what we see with Roald Dahl and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka. It's the same thing that we see that's happening in Arizona, as I had on the screen before, where teachers are saying parents don't get to decide. Parents don't get to be involved. Teachers, the educated, the elites, the progressives, get to decide what kids can say and not say and learn. If you don't say exactly what they want you to say, if you don't obey, if you don't think and just regurgitate like a parrot the things that you've been taught, you're the problem. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe if I heard in full context everything that Scott Adams had said, maybe I'd be upset. Maybe not. But he should be able to say it.
Systemic racism is the system itself, that induces, or it's set up that's putting people at a disadvantage because of racism. And we have the thing is, we do have multiple things that are set up that are systemically racism within our systems. But
you mean
they
critical
are not
race theory. Critical race theory is the system promoting racism and sexism. That's intersectionality. Yeah. That's institutional racism and sexism. That's critical race theory. It's exactly what they're doing. If you're white, you're evil. If you're black, you're a victim. The only one who can help you is the government. That's institutional racism. That's critical race theory. That's BLM.